Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Hi, I'm Jeannie, and I'm an alcoholic and addict.
I'm Andrew. I'm an alcoholic and an addict, and this is Grooves and Gratitude Day 19.
Wow.
Cannot believe we've made it this far. We're still on the same screen. We're back together. We started this at the beginning of our month to get back into our own recovery, to talk about how important the 12-step concept for recovery has been to us. To encourage other folks who maybe are struggling or maybe think they have a problem, and also to connect this with how much music is a part of our daily meditation. And we're making this mad recovery playlist to go with this, which will be ready at the end of the series. And each day we post the song and maybe a reading in the comments. Well, you probably know that the concept of prayer has been sort of maligned of late. And it's because when something really bad happens in the world, somebody will tweet, "They're in our prayers." And folks have started to say, you know what, that it's not cutting it. One of our favorite comedians the other day from right here in Tennessee, we saw a post he made about that. And he doesn't believe in prayer at all. And I can see why. But we were taught in recovery this idea of contempt before investigation, and to try this. And I also remember a speaker tape I heard a guy said, maybe the only people that pray anymore are athletes and alcoholics.
Yeah.
So there's this prayer we learned, and it was actually from that speaker called the Set Aside Prayer, which is popular in the recovery movement, which kind of addresses this idea of maybe just give it a try. No promises, no rebates, no money back guarantee. Just give it a try and see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, if this isn't a part of your recovery, you can still stay sober. Jeannie, you want to read us the set aside prayer?
Yeah. God, today help me set aside everything I think I know about you, everything I think I know about myself, everything I think I know about others, and everything I think I know about my own recovery, so I may have an open mind and a new experience with all these things. Please help me to see the truth.
I don't know about you, Jeannie, but before I started recovery, I thought everybody in recovery was boring.
Yeah, if you didn't drink, that you were a stodgy person and didn't know how to have fun. And so, yeah, it was like a lifestyle that you didn't want to embrace and take on, because where was there going to be fun? And I love the set aside prayer for that reason. You set aside these preconceived ideas that you have about God, about prayer, about what recovery is, what being sober is all about.
So we recommend this in general too. I mean, and I have to do this about things we see in our neighborhood, signs we might see in other people's yards, stickers we might see on other people's cars. We have to constantly be checking ourselves, because we want other people to be open-minded towards us. But if we're not open-minded towards them, then it's really, and that doesn't mean you're not going to end up having discretion about who you hang out with, or you might have critical assessments of others. This is not anti-critical thinking. This is actually, I think, a better form of critical thinking, because you're realizing you have your own biases wherever you are aligned on all kinds of topics. And I found out that we all had biases about sobriety and about living drug and alcohol free.
Mm-hmm.
The song that we picked today is by a hugely popular around here person. I think a lot of people in middle Tennessee, rural Tennessee, Nashville scene that we know listen to this guy. He's in outlaw country. We listen to Jason Isbell, of course, but his name is Chris Stapleton, and he wrote a song called The Drunkard's Prayer, which brings us to this step, but also brings us back to step 0, which was the first step before the first step, where we talked about what it was like right before we got clean and sober. And we got a line from that song.
I wish that I could go to church, but I'm too ashamed of me. I hate the fact that it takes a bottle to get me on my knees. And I hope you'll forgive the things you ain't forgot when I get drunk and talk to God.
A lot of us talk about our own guilt, shame, and remorse, and you might still feel a little bit of guilt when you make a mistake. And hopefully, we're just making mistakes. I think when I was in active addiction, it was more premeditated stupidity, and now it's just stupidity wrought from error. Like in baseball, you drop the ball. It's an error. It's not, you didn't purposely drop the ball. Whereas when we were in active addiction, we were just going out and just kind of doing all that for sport. But shame seems to linger even after you aren't doing the bad things anymore. And so I recommend we can let go of that. That's something that this spiritual practice has helped me get rid of. It's like, you're not bad. You maybe did some bad things.
Yeah, the 12 steps are really 12 principles that you can live by. There are the 12 things that you do that you're not proud of, and then like lie. And one of the steps is honesty. And so as you go through the steps, working it with a sponsor, they try to just get your feelings about how you feel about that. How did you lie? What ways did you lie? Okay, what ways can you be honest now? Are you that? You try to be that way. And one of the couple of the steps 4 and 5 is where you can kind of unload some of those things that you've been so ashamed of, some of those things that you think I'll never be forgiven for. And it allows you an opportunity to release that and let it not burden you anymore. And even there's step to help you to rectify in certain circumstances, if something that you have done, that you can actually do something to correct what that was, and help you to release that awful burden that you've been carrying, and beating yourself up over.
All right, so we're going to go back to the original reading, which was the set aside prayer, and we're going to say it one last time here, and encourage y'all to try to set aside anything that's up in your junk and bothering you, up in your head. It's messing with your mellow today. It's keeping you from having a peaceful and productive day. God,
today
help me set aside everything I think I know about you. Everything I think I know about myself, everything I think I know about others, and everything I think I know about my own recovery, so I may have an open mind and a new experience with all these things. Please help me see the truth. Thanks for coming to Grooves and Gratitude. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a great day.